Donald Trump in Detroit. I mean, understand something. The right wing in this country is so desperate to pour money into police. They are really beside themselves at the idea that the bump in crime during the only pandemic in a century was in some way related to the only pandemic in a century, but rather want to pretend that it was some type of magical effect by George Floyd or, whatever it was, liberal policies or George Soros manipulation. And they cannot stand it. They cannot stand it. And part of that is a function of like Republicans love to scare people about a crime because it is a great surrogate for them to scare people about race. And that is just simply the fact.
That's the media for the last 170 years in this country.
100%. Like you go back to, to antebellum times, it's the same thing. Yep. There's going to be some, political cartoon about how, black men are going to create
they're coming
crime.
For your women.
Yep. So here's Donald Trump. And, when you're in this is a perfect example of it because they know Donald Trump does not have to address Joe Biden talking about crime if he had the ability to actually point out to crime. But when you bring up crime statistics in this country, by any measure, crime is down significantly. In some instances, historically. In Philadelphia so far, and again, only about halfway through the year, the Philadelphia Police Department in their reporting has shown a drop in crime, particularly in murder, so precipitous in gun violence that it's not just down from its massive spike during the pandemic. It is lower now than it was in the past 2 decades.
And that's not just Philadelphia, as you say. That's across this country. Murder rates.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked
down
about it
25% and
yeah.
this and that. Now, in Philadelphia, they got rid of their prosecutor, who was Soros-backed, Larry Krasner. Oh, wait. No, they didn't. It's the exact same guy.
I was just checking that.
Yeah, no, they did not.
No, they were successful in San Francisco, but not
That's
in
right.
getting him out
But
in
the
Philly.
point being that the George Floyd effect somehow just changed, even though police department staffing in Philadelphia still, supposedly, according to the police, understaffed. Now, if you're the police department and you say that you're understaffed, are you manipulating the crime statistics to show that there's actually less crime?
Yeah, no.
Maybe cops aren't that bright, but I think anybody can figure it out.
Right.
You know,
to ask more funding for more funding, you need to say crime is out of control. I do know one area of the country where crime is up significantly, and that's at Mar-a-Lago, or in Trump's mind, because it's kind of, I know, whoa, zinger, little rich for a convicted felon to be talking about crime here.
Here is Donald Trump
kind of crime.
in Detroit. That's not the bad kind of crime.
Joe Biden is out the other day trying to claim that crime is down, but actually crime is way up. They don't report crime properly anymore, as you probably have heard. Crooked Joe is citing statistics that no longer include data from 30% of the country, including the biggest and most violent cities. Oh, I see. That's nice. Meanwhile, Joe Biden still supports no cash bail and sanctuary cities. I'm probably the only one that has to pay bail. Think of it. I'm the only one, I think. He's responsible for the deaths of countless African Americans from crime, and he also devastated black families in 1994 with the crime bill.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, pause it. So wait a second. Now, we're understanding. So he's pivoted, incidentally. He's in Detroit. He's in Detroit in 2023. Detroit ended 2023 with the fewest homicides in 57 years, double-digit drops in shootings, carjackings, according to Detroit police statistics. And this is, now you could say like, oh, okay, well, it's been fewest homicides in 57 years because, we've had a large exodus of population out of Detroit. We're talking about a 20% drop from 2022 in homicides, a 16% drop from non-fatal shootings from 2022. This is in 2023. Carjackings down 35% from 2022 to 2023. I mean, maybe the once in a lifetime pandemic had nothing to do with this.
Maybe not.
It could be a total coincidence.
It must be cash bail reform, according to Donald Trump, which in New York City, what you're determined in terms of your eligibility for cash bail, it's between qualifying and non-qualifying offenses, and the ones that qualify are not violent crimes, and it's not for repeat offenders of violent crimes in that way. So the whole fear-mongering around this that Kathy Hochul and Eric Adams have eagerly participated in is just based on a lie.
And again, but the whole thing about the 30%, that you've had 30% of the police departments in the country have not reported to the FBI. That may be the case, but Philadelphia does not report to the police, to the FBI. They haven't been able to do it because they haven't been able to fix their systems. And their crime, again, down. Radically, not dramatically, radically.
And the national statistics are so stark that it would have to be this like extreme statistical anomaly in the remaining 30% that would drive crime up in that way. So all of the data indicators tell the same story, basically, when you look at nationwide trends.
The cash bail thing just seems like such a non sequitur. Like, if the judge decides they get bail, the cash part is just a sort of a class differentiator that should be objected to. It's the judge who decides they get bail or not. And also, it's easy to zero in on a instance where somebody's let out and they do a violent crime without addressing do you stand up for all the pretrial detention saying going on in Rikers and you defend all of that? Let's have some balance here.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.